That creepy mask, the eerie phone, and Ethan Hawke's chilling voice are back. Now, the first Black Phone was a surprise hit. It had the mix of old school horror, supernatural mystery, and a real emotional core. So naturally, the big question is, does the sequel live up to it, or is it just another unnecessary follow-up? Let's pick up the phone and find out. So this sequel picks up a few years after the first movie. Finney and Gwen Shaw, the siblings who survived the grabber, are trying to move on with their lives. Finney, he's older now, like a lot older, still haunted by what happened, while Gwen's psychic dreams are getting stronger and darker. When kids start disappearing again and Gwen begins receiving those mysterious visions, and yes, the Black Phone starts ringing again, it's clear that the nightmare isn't over. What's cool is that instead of another basement-bound thriller, this time the story moves to a remote, snow-covered camp setting involving other people. It's quiet, eerie, and gives the film a total new kind of tension. You can almost feel the cold creeping in. Tone and atmosphere. What I really like here is that the Black Phone 2 doesn't just recycle what worked before. It builds on emotional trauma of the first movie. This time, the horror is split between two layers: the ghosts that haunt the phone and the ghosts that live inside the survivors. It's part supernatural horror, part psychological drama, and part coming of age story. His fear feels more internal now. It's about how surviving something evil changes you, because he a different person in this one. And Gwen's visions, they're like a curse that connects her to something she's desperate to escape. Visually, the film looks amazing. The snow, the fog, the dim yellow lights, the old school aesthetic like it's back in the day. It's haunting and beautiful at the same time. It almost feels like a folk horror story drop into the world of the Black Phone. Performances. Ethan Hawke once again steals the show as the grabber, even though his presence this time is more spectral. He's still terrifying. He manages to be calm and chaotic at the same time. Mason Thames does a great job showing Finney's trauma. You really believe he's been through something that still shapes him years later. And Madeleine McGraw as Gwen, easily one of the highlights. Her mix of innocence, anger, and courage gives the movie real emotional weight. There's also a handful of new faces, kids at the camp, a few mysterious adults who all add layers to the story. What works? Alright, let's break down what really works in the Black Phone 2. First up, atmosphere. Scott Dickerson absolutely nails the mood again. The winter setting, the haunting sound design, even the silence, everything feels off in the best possible way. Second, the mythology. The Black Phone itself feels more alive this time, not just a tool for ghosts, but as a connection between the living and the dead. It expands the world in a natural way. Third, the emotion. Yes, let's talk about emotions. The sequel actually cares about its characters. It's not just about jump scares. It's about healing, memory, and how trauma lingers. The emotional layer makes the horror hit even harder. And of course, the scares. The movie has some really tense, clever moments that don't really rely on like cheap tricks. There are a few scenes that make you grip your seat or your phone a little tighter. What doesn't work? Now, it's not perfect. There are a few pacing issues, especially in the middle, where it slowed down to focus on Finney's emotional arc. It's good character work, but it can feel like the tension dips after the first act. Some of the supernatural logic, it gets a little fuzzy, like how far can the grabber's spirit really reach? What is this, Nightmare on Elm Street? It got to feeling like Nightmare on Elm Street at some point. Like, what? The movie doesn't totally explain it, which might frustrate some fans because it frustrated me. And the ending, without spoiling anything, leaves the door wide open for more sequels. That's fine, but it does make this one feel a little unfinished. Like they already planning Black Phone 3 because it did good. It's opening weekend. Like what? Okay, it's spoiled milk around here. So I really like the twist connecting Gwen's psychic ability to her mom past that added a new emotional depth. The grabber returns as more of a spiritual entity. It was bold and it actually worked for me. It makes him less of a man and more of a curse. Kind of like Freddy Krueger. Like he gave me Freddy Krueger vibes, Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. I don't know. I could take this out of context. I don't know. So let me break it down. Gwen and Finn mother used to have dreams as well and could talk to ghosts as well. This is why the kids can do it. Okay, so it's kind of like a backstory thing going on to where, okay, they only talk to the ghosts because their mother used to talk to the ghosts, right? So when the grabber got to killing people back in the 60s, or I don't know, when he was young, working at this camp that they was at with all the snow, right, the grabber used to work there. You got me? You copy me? The grabber used to work there and he killed a couple of kids, maybe 3. I think it's 3. And the mother caught him or found out it was him. And he came back and killed the mother. The mother had the 2 kids, Gwen and Finn. You see what I'm trying to say? So they are going back to where their mother worked to free the children's souls because they've been locked in the afterlife, and they're there specifically for that. This is why Gwen is having the dreams, and this is why Finn, the phone is still ringing. I think the phone still rings for Finn. I think he always got that gift because his mom had that gift. And I think Gwen got an extra type of gift, not necessarily the phone ringing, but she has dreams where her dreams can tap into reality and to like what's happening or what happened. That's it, pretty much in a nutshell. And the final confrontation in the snow is chilling, literally and emotionally. It's brutal, sad, and a perfect visual mirror to the basement scenes from the first movie. My final thoughts. So overall, The Black Phone 2 delivers a worthy follow-up. It's darker, more personal, and genuinely scary. It doesn't try to outdo the first movie with shock value. It digs deeper. If you like the slow burn, emotional side of the first film, you'll probably love this one. If you wanted more action or a cleaner resolution, you might find it a bit slower. For me, it's a solid 2.0 out of 5. A strong sequel with heart, atmosphere, and some unforgettable imagery. Not perfect, but a great continuation of a modern horror story. Box office numbers. This is a new segment I'm adding to my videos where we talk about the box office. In its opening weekend in North America, it made about $26.5 million. Domestic US and Canada is around $61.8 million. Internationally is about $43.6 million, making the worldwide total roughly $105.4 million. The reported budget is $30 million. So they killed it with this. They killed it. Was it a flop or a success? Given these numbers, I'd argue the film is a success, not a flop. They only spent 30. They only spent 30 M's, and here's why. With a 30 million budget and 105 million worldwide gross, that's about 3.5 times the production cost. That's generally a good ratio for a horror film. It opened stronger than the predecessors, and its debut weekend, the first one made 23.6, the second one made 26.5. Horror films often rely on smaller budgets, good legs, rather than huge blockbuster highs. The fact that it reached the number one in the US box office, its opening weekend, is a strong indicator. Yes, The Black Phone 2 is commercially successful so far. It's not a blockbuster smash, but for its genre and budget, it's doing well enough to justify the sequel and likely be considered a win for the studio and filmmakers. Alright, y'all, that's my review of The Black Phone 2. If you like this video, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. I appreciate everybody tapping in and subscribing to my channel. It's been a long journey. Drop a comment below and let me know, did this sequel creep you out, or did you think the first one was better? And hey, if you hear the phone ringing later at night, maybe don't answer it. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe. You know the vibes. I'll see you at showtime.